Hello everybody, welcome to Miss Bobbie's Home Cooking. Today I am going to be making another delicious meal. I'm going to be making braised beef shank. Actually I wanted to make oxtails, but I couldn't find any oxtails, and the ones that I did see were so expensive. Then someone said, why don't you get beef shank? And so I thought, well, that's a great idea. So let's get started with our fresh veggies. I'm going to be using green bell peppers. I'm dicing into nice big pieces. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. And so I'm going to be using celery. Nice bit diced pieces. My red bell pepper. I like using red bell pepper because it adds beautiful color, and bell peppers to me have a nice little sweet taste to them. And then I am using red onions. Of course you can use white onions if you like. Cut into nice sized pieces also. And I have about 4 or 5 pieces of garlic, cloves of garlic. I have washed my meat very well. I patted them dry on both sides, and then I'm going to generously salt them and pepper. The secret to a good sear is to make sure you pat them dry. Pat both sides very dry with a paper towel. Press in the seasoning, flip it over, and let's do it the same way on the other side. And generously season with salt and pepper. Get some of the salt off the board and put it on the sides. And let the meat sit for about 20-30 minutes. And now I'm going to heat up my pan with some oil, about a tablespoon or so of oil. Make sure the pan is nice and hot. And make sure your meat has a good connection with the pan. Press it down. And I'm not going to crowd the pan, so I'm just going to put these 2 shanks in. I want to sear them on both sides. Get a good sear. Remember to like and subscribe. And leave me a comment. I love the comments. I'm going to take these pieces of meat out and set them to the side and cook the last piece. Make sure I put it in there. Press it down good. Make sure it's a good connection. Okay, so we got our meat seared. Now remember, the meat is not done. I want to cook it 4 or 5 minutes on each side. I'm going to put in a little bit of butter and just a tad more oil, and then I'm going to scrape some of that goodness off the bottom of the pan so it can get on our veggies as we saute them. I'm going to throw in a few carrots, which is optional, of course. So I decided I want to make a gravy, so I'm going to put about a tablespoon of flour in. Make a well and put the flour in, and then mix the flour really good until all the flour is dissolved. And I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons of better than bouillon. I think this was beef or garlic, roast beef, or it was delicious. I have a few of them. And I add about a cup of water, 3/4 a cup of water. And I decided at the last minute I want to put wine in there, so I put about a half a cup of wine. I'm going to let this simmer for a few, cook some of the wine taste off, and then I'm going to start with my paprika. I have a little bit of thyme and basil, about a teaspoon each. Then I have a little bit of garlic, and I'm going to use onion powder, about 2 teaspoons of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic. Then I have a little bit of cayenne pepper, optional. Then I'm going to put in about 2 teaspoons of Old Bay. Now, of course, the seasoning is to your taste. And then I'm going to add the mixture of vegetables on top of my meat. And put in fresh rosemary from my garden. And I have a little bit of water. I think I'm just going to add it in there also. I have just about 2 tablespoons of wine. I thought might as well put it in. And then I added in about 2 or 3 bay leaves. I'm going to cover with foil. Cook at 300 degrees for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. And then I'm going to make some nice creamy mashed potatoes. I will have a separate video for my mashed potatoes coming up. Mashed potatoes and gravy. So stay tuned to watch those. The potatoes are so creamy and delicious. I use sour cream, lots of butter, and heavy cream, yum, yum, yum. And then, of course, I add a little more butter. And then I have chives from my garden. So I'm going to baste my meat a little bit. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven with the foil off for about 20 minutes. And this is what we have. The meat is so tender and juicy, you can just pull it apart with a fork. And then with the drippings, I'm going to make gravy. And I'll have a nice, better direction for the gravies on my next video when I make my mashed potatoes and gravy. And then here we have our nice, delicious gravy with our mashed potatoes. And then we have the star of the show, our braised beef shank. Delicious. Please make this meal. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Like and subscribe. And please enjoy.